The Goal King, 895-plus career goals. Alex Ovechkin broke Wayne Gretzky's unthinkable record in April 2025, becoming the all-time Goal King. It happened when the Washington Capitals faced the New York Islanders, with Ovi scoring his 895th goal to pass the Great One. Ovechkin did everything, scoring with his signature one-timer from the left circle, sending the crowd into complete madness. He played over 20 seasons, averaging around 42 goals every year to reach this mark. What makes this even crazier is he did it while missing almost 2 full seasons to lockouts and pandemic pauses. The closest active players aren't even in the conversation. Sidney Crosby has around 600 goals, Connor McDavid is on pace for maybe 700 if everything goes perfectly, and Auston Matthews might hit 750 with incredible luck. With today's defensive systems, deeper goaltending talent, and shorter careers, we might never see anyone challenge Ovi's final number. His goal-scoring dominance stands completely alone. Hey guys, if you're enjoying these hockey records, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. I'll be posting new hockey content every week. Thanks. The Points Mountain, 2,857 career points. Wayne Gretzky's all-time points record towers over hockey like nothing else. It happened across 20 seasons from 1979 to 1999, with Gretzky completely rewriting the NHL record books. The Great One averaged an insane 1.92 points per game, putting up numbers that look like typos. He scored 894 goals but added 1,963 assists, meaning he has more assists alone than any other player has total points. Gretzky was so far ahead that if you took away all his goals, he'd still be the all-time points leader just on assists. The closest anyone's come is Jaromir Jagr with 1,921 points, and he played 24 seasons to get there. Sidney Crosby sits around 1,500 points, and he's already slowing down. With today's defensive systems, elite goaltending, and focus on two-way play, no one will ever sniff Gretzky's point total. You'd need to average 100 points for 28 straight seasons to match it. This record is completely untouchable and will stand forever. The goals explosion, 92 goals in a season. Wayne Gretzky pulled off the wildest goal-scoring season ever in 1981 to 82. It happened when the Edmonton Oilers were becoming an offensive powerhouse, with Gretzky completely taking over the league at just 21 years old. He scored 92 goals in just 80 games, averaging 1.15 goals every single night for an entire season. Gretzky took 369 shots that year, scoring on an incredible 24.9% of them. He added 120 assists too, setting the all-time points record with 212. The closest anyone's come since is Alexander Mogilny and Timo Selänne, both hitting 76 goals in the high-scoring 1992-93 season. In the modern era, Auston Matthews reached 69 goals in 2023-24, and that was considered a historic season. With today's defensive coaching, bigger goalies with better technique, and the neutral zone trap, no player will ever approach 92 goals again. The game has completely changed, and Gretzky's single-season goal mark sits safely out of reach for all time. By the way, I'm going to be posting these hockey videos regularly. If you want to see more unbreakable records, make sure to subscribe. Shout out to Tyler from Minnesota. The scoring peak, 215 points in a season. Wayne Gretzky's scoring record from 1985 to 86 seems completely impossible when you look at it today. It happened when the Edmonton Oilers were dominating the league, with Gretzky at the absolute peak of his powers. He scored 52 goals and dished out a mind-blowing 163 assists, piling up 215 total points. Gretzky averaged 2.69 points every single game, putting up multiple points in 72 of his 80 games that season. He had 52 three-point games alone, more than most stars get in total points today. What's crazy is this wasn't even his only 200-point season. He broke 203 other times with 212, 208, and 205 points. No other player has ever reached 200 even once. Mario Lemieux came closest with 199 points in 1988 to 89. In today's game, 130 points is considered an amazing season. Connor McDavid hit 153 in 2022-23, and that was the highest in 30 years. With modern defense-first coaching, better goaltending, and reduced scoring league-wide, Gretzky's 215 points looks completely untouchable. This record stands forever in hockey history. The unstoppable streak, 51-game point streak. Wayne Gretzky's consistency hit a level no one will ever match. From October 5th, 1983 to January 28th, 1984, he recorded at least 1 point in 51 consecutive games. It happened during the highest scoring era in modern hockey, but still stands out as completely unreal. Gretzky piled up 153 points during the streak alone, 61 goals and 92 assists, games, more than most players get in 2 full seasons. He averaged exactly 3 points per game over nearly 4 straight months of hockey. The streak finally ended against the Los Angeles Kings when Gretzky was held pointless despite Edmonton scoring 4 goals. The closest anyone's come since is Mario Lemieux with 46 games, and in recent years the best streaks barely reach half of Gretzky's mark. Patrick Kane hit 26 games in 2015-16, and Sidney Crosby reached 25 in 2010-11. With today's tight checking, shot-blocking defensive systems, and rotated matchups specifically designed to shut down stars, no player will ever threaten this record. Gretzky's 51-game streak sits completely alone in hockey history. The hat trick master, 50 career hat tricks. Wayne Gretzky scored 3 or more goals in a single game an unbelievable 50 times. It happened throughout his career with the Oilers, Kings, Blues, and Rangers, with Gretzky making the incredible look routine. The Great One scored exactly 3 goals in many games, 4 goals in several, and 5 goals in a few. He even managed an incredible 10 hat tricks in the 1981-82 season alone, more than most great players get in their entire careers. Gretzky scored his first NHL hat trick early in his career and kept piling them up for 2 decades. The next closest players aren't even in the neighborhood. Mario Lemieux finished with 40 hat tricks. Mike Bossy had 39, and among active players, Alex Ovechkin leads with about 30. With today's defensive systems, elite goaltending, and balanced scoring throughout lineups, hat tricks have become much rarer events. No one playing today will ever come close to Gretzky's mark of 50. His hat trick dominance is completely untouchable. The scoring machine, 9 consecutive 50-plus goal seasons. Mike Bossy put together the most consistent goal-scoring streak hockey has ever seen. From 1977 to 1986, the New York Islanders sniper hit the 50-goal mark every single season without fail. Bossy never scored fewer than 51 goals and topped out at 69 in 1978 to 79. What makes this even more impressive is that he did this in only 10 seasons before back problems forced him to retire early. Had he played longer, his records would be even more untouchable. Bossy scored 573 goals in just 752 games, giving him the highest goals per game average in NHL history at 0.76. The closest streak to Bossy's belongs to Wayne Gretzky, who managed 9 straight 50-goal seasons. Alex Ovechkin has the best modern run with just 4 consecutive 50-goal campaigns. With today's defensive focus, goalie equipment improvements, and physical toll on scorers, getting to 50 once is considered amazing. Doing it 9 straight years? That record stands completely alone forever. The right-wing legend, 895-plus right-wing career goals. Alex Ovechkin didn't just break Gretzky's all-time goal record, he completely destroyed the right-wing position record. It happened over his 20-plus year career with the Washington Capitals, with Ovi making the right circle his personal office. What's amazing is how Ovechkin did it with basically one signature move, the one-timer from the right circle, that everyone knew was coming but still couldn't stop. Ovechkin scored over 400 power play goals this way, blasting shots past goalies who knew exactly what he was going to do. The previous right-wing record was Gordie Howe's 801 goals, which stood for decades. The closest active right-wingers aren't even in the same universe. Patrick Kane has around 500 goals. Vladimir Tarasenko has under 300. With the physical demands of playing wing in today's NHL and the difficulty of staying healthy for 20-plus seasons, no right-winger will ever approach Ovi's final number. His positional dominance is set in stone forever. The penalty king, 472 penalty minutes in a season. Dave Schultz set the wildest bad boy record ever during the 1974-75 season. It happened when the Philadelphia Flyers were known as the Broad Street Bullies, with Schultz serving as their primary enforcer. What's crazy is that he racked up these minutes in just 76 games. That's over 6 penalty minutes per game on average. Schultz fought anyone and everyone, dropping the gloves 35 times that season alone. He picked up 23 major penalties, 7 misconducts, and 4 game misconducts. The player nicknamed the Hammer spent almost 8 complete games worth of time sitting in the penalty box. The closest anyone's come since is Ty Domi with 347 minutes in 1996-97, over 100 minutes short of the record. With fighting nearly gone from today's game, stricter officiating on dangerous plays, and teams needing all players to contribute, this record is completely untouchable. The NHL has changed its rules and culture so much that Schultz's penalty minute mark will stand forever. The scoring streak, 10 100-plus point seasons. Mario Lemieux put together a run of scoring excellence that seems impossible in today's NHL. From 1986 to 1997, he topped 100 points in every full season he played, despite missing entire years battling cancer and back problems. What makes this even more incredible is that when he returned from these health issues, he just picked up where he left off, still scoring at a 100-plus point pace. Lemieux's best season during this streak came in 1988-89 when he piled up 199 points, just one shy of the 200 mark. He averaged 160 points in his best 5-year stretch, numbers that seem made up compared to today's game. The closest anyone's come to this streak is Wayne Gretzky with 13 consecutive 100-point seasons, and Lemieux might have beaten it without health problems. Among active players, Connor McDavid has the best run with 7 straight 100-point campaigns. With today's defensive systems, balanced team play, and reduced scoring overall, Lemieux's consistent 100-point brilliance over a decade stands as one of hockey's most impressive records. The Vasna Domination, 6 Vasna trophies. Dominik Hasek won hockey's top goaltending award 6 times in an 8-year span. It happened from 1994 to 2001, with the Dominator completely revolutionizing the goaltending position. Hasek's style was unlike anything seen before, a flexible, acrobatic approach that looked chaotic, but was actually incredibly effective. He posted ridiculous numbers during this run, including a .937 save percentage in 1998-99 while facing over 1,800 shots. Hasek led the league in save percentage 6 times and shutouts twice. What makes his record even more impressive is that he didn't become an NHL starter until age 28, losing years of his prime. The closest anyone's come is Jacques Plante with 7 Veznas, but those came when the award was given to the team with the fewest goals against, not the best goalie. Among modern goalies, Martin Brodeur won 4. In today's NHL, with so many elite goalies competing in shorter career peaks, no one will ever dominate the position long enough to win 6 Vezina trophies. Hasek's goaltending brilliance stands completely alone. The playoff wall, 502 saves in a playoff run. Jean-Sebastien put together the most dominant goaltending performance in playoff history. It happened in 2003 when the Anaheim Mighty Ducks made a shocking run to the Stanley Cup final. Sebastien faced an absolute barrage of shots and turned away 502 of them, setting a record that still stands today. What's even more incredible is that he posted a .945 save percentage and 1.62 goals against average over 21 high-pressure playoff games. Sebastien was so dominant that he won the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP despite Anaheim losing in the final. Only 5 players in NHL history have won that award while on the losing team. The closest anyone's come to his save total is Miikka Kiprusoff with 437 in 2004. And in recent years, Jordan Binnington managed 415 in 2019. With today's emphasis on shot quality over quantity and teams becoming more defensively responsible in the playoffs, Sebastian's record of 502 saves in a single postseason looks safer every year. His brick wall performance stands forever in hockey history. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you're enjoying these NHL records. I've got tons more hockey content planned. Shout out to Rick from Boston. The Defensive Dynasty, 7 Norris trophies total. Nicholas Lidstrom dominated NHL defense like no one else, winning the Best Defenseman award 7 times throughout his career. It happened from 2001 to 2008 and beyond, with the Detroit Red Wings star controlling games with his perfect positioning and incredible hockey IQ. What makes this run even more impressive is that Lidstrom was already 31 when his first Norris win in this stretch occurred, an age when most players begin declining. Instead, he got better, playing over 28 minutes a night and putting up 60-plus points while shutting down the opponent's best players. Lidstrom finished his career with 7 Norris trophies total, second only to Bobby Orr's 8. But Orr's weren't consecutive. Lidstrom's longest consecutive streak was 3 straight wins. The closest recent streak belongs to Erik Karlsson with 2 in a row. With today's defensive depth, scoring from the blue line, and younger stars emerging constantly, no defenseman will ever dominate the position for 7 total Norris wins like Lidstrom. His defensive excellence record looks completely untouchable in today's NHL. The goal consistency, 14 consecutive 30-plus goal seasons. Mike Gartner scored 30 or more goals for 14 straight years, showing incredible consistency most players can only dream of. It happened from 1979 to 1993, with Gartner finding the net year after year despite changing teams multiple times. What's amazing is that he never scored 50 goals in a single season. His career high was 49. Instead, Gartner just kept scoring between 30 to 45 goals every single year without fail. He finished his career with 17 seasons of 30-plus goals total, with the streak only broken by the lockout-shortened 1994-95 season. The closest anyone's come is Jaromir Jagr with 15 straight seasons of 20-plus goals, but even he couldn't match Gartner's 30-goal consistency. Among active players, players, Alex Ovechkin has the best run with 13 seasons of 30-plus goals, not all consecutive. With today's defensive systems, goaltending improvements, and physical toll on players, scoring 30-plus goals for 14 straight seasons feels completely impossible. Gartner's consistency record stands safely in the NHL history books. The scoring title. Streak 5 consecutive Art Ross trophies. Phil Esposito led the NHL in scoring for 5 straight years in an era loaded with legendary talent. It happened from 1971 to 1975, with Esposito putting up ridiculous numbers while starring for the Boston Bruins. He twice broke the 150-point barrier, including a mind-blowing 76 goals and 76 assists for 152 points in 1971. What makes this run even more impressive is who Esposito beat out. His streak came while players like Bobby Orr, Bobby Hull, and a young Guy Lafleur were all in their prime. Esposito's lowest point total during this stretch was 127, which would easily lead the league in most modern seasons. The closest any player has come since is Wayne Gretzky, who won 8 straight Art Ross trophies in the 1980s. Among active players, Connor McDavid has won 4 scoring titles, but not consecutively. With today's incredible scoring depth, defensive systems, and health management, winning 5 straight scoring titles feels completely unreachable. Esposito's Art Ross streak remains one of hockey's most impressive achievements. The face-off wizard, 95.5% face-off win percentage in a game. Yannick Perreault put on the most dominant face-off clinic hockey has ever seen. It happened on January 22, 2007, when the Phoenix Coyotes faced the Columbus Blue Jackets. Perreault stepped into the face-off circle 22 times that night and won an unbelievable 21 of them, giving him a 95.5% success rate. For comparison, winning 60% of face-offs over a season is considered excellent in the NHL. Perreault was already known as a face-off specialist, leading the league in face-off percentage multiple times in his career, but this single-game performance was on another level. He created instant possession for his team all night long, giving the Coyotes a massive advantage. The closest anyone's come to this perfect game is Patrice Bergeron, who once won 17 of 19 draws for an 89.5% rate. With today's emphasis on face-off technique, video study of opponents, and specialized coaching, every draw is highly contested. No player will ever come close to winning 95.5% of their face-offs in a game again. Perreault's record stands safely in the history books. The playoff sniper, 16 goals in a playoff series. Jari Kurri put together the most dominant goal-scoring run in playoff history. It happened during the 1985 playoffs when the Edmonton Oilers faced the Chicago Blackhawks in the conference finals. Kurri scored an unbelievable 16 goals in just 10 playoff games that series. He found the net in every single game, including 4 hat tricks and a 4-goal performance in Game 7 to close out the series. What makes this even more incredible is that Kurri scored those 16 goals on just 26 shots, giving him a ridiculous 61.5% shooting percentage. The Finnish sniper was completely unstoppable, finding open ice and finishing with deadly precision. The closest anyone's come since is Mario Lemieux, who scored 13 goals in a playoff series in 1992. Among active players, no one has even approached double-digit goals in a single series. With today's defensive systems, goaltending improvements, and the physical playoff style that wears down scorers, Kurri's 16-goal playoff explosion remains completely untouchable in modern hockey. The overtime hero, 20 overtime goals. Alex Ovechkin has scored more regular season sudden death winners than any player in NHL history. It's happened throughout his career with the Washington Capitals, with Ovi showing he's hockey's most clutch finisher when the game is on the line. What makes this record so impressive is the pressure of these moments. One shot to instantly win the game, with everyone in the building knowing the puck is probably going to Ovechkin, yet he still delivers time after time. His signature one-timer from the left circle has beaten goalies in overtime so many times they can see it coming but still can't stop it. The closest anyone's come to Ovi's mark is Sidney Crosby with 15 overtime winners, followed by Jaromir Jagr with 13. Among active players not named Ovechkin or Crosby, Brad Marchand leads with 11. With games often ending in shootouts and defensive systems tightening up in overtime, scoring these sudden death winners has become even harder. As Ovechkin continues adding to his total, this record looks completely untouchable for any future player. The 5-goal masterpiece. 5 goals, 5 different ways in one game. Mario Lemieux pulled off the most unique scoring performance in hockey history. It happened on December 31st, 1988, when the Pittsburgh Penguins faced the New Jersey Devils on New Year's Eve. Lemieux didn't just score 5 goals, he scored them in 5 completely different ways in the same game. He scored at even strength on the power play, shorthanded, on a penalty shot, and into an empty net. No player before or since has managed this complete scoring showcase in a single game. What makes this even more incredible is how rare penalty shot goals are. Most players might get 1 or 2 chances per season. Lemieux managed to check every possible box in one night, showing his complete offensive dominance. The closest anyone's come is scoring 4 goals in different situations, and that's happened just a handful of times. With today's specialized roles, defensive systems, and the rarity of penalty shots, this perfect scoring storm will never happen again. Lemieux's 5-goal variety pack stands as hockey's most unique record ever. The rookie streak, 23-game point streak by a rookie. Timo Selänne put together a scoring run that seems impossible for a first-year player. It happened during the 1992-93 season when the Finnish Flash took the NHL by storm with the Winnipeg Jets. From February 9th to April 15th, 1993, Selänne recorded at least 1 point in 23 consecutive games. During this unbelievable streak, he piled up 23 goals and 16 assists for 39 total points. Selänne was scoring at a pace that veteran superstars would envy, all while adjusting to a new league, new country, and new style of play. He finished his rookie season with 76 goals and 132 points, both still standing as rookie records over 30 years later. The closest any rookie has come to this streak is Nathan MacKinnon, who managed a 13-game point streak in 2013-14, not even reaching the halfway mark to Selänne's record. With today's defensive systems, pressure on young players, and the adjustment period most rookies need, Selänne's 23-game rookie scoring streak looks completely untouchable for all time. The defenseman streak, 44-game point streak by a defenseman. Paul Coffey put together a run of scoring that no blue liner has ever approached. It happened during the 1985-86 season when the Edmonton Oilers defenseman shattered offensive expectations for his position. From November 14, 1985 to February 26, 1986, Coffey recorded at least 1 point in 44 straight games. During this ridiculous streak, he piled up 21 goals and 71 assists for 92 total points, more than most defensemen get in 2 full seasons. Coffey was scoring at a pace of over 2 points per game from the blue line, something that seems completely impossible today. He finished that season with 48 goals and 138 points, both still standing as records for defensemen not named Bobby Orr. The closest any defenseman has come since is Brian Leetch, who managed a 17-game point streak in 1991-92. Among active players, Erik Karlsson's best is 14 games. With today's focus on defensive responsibility, systems designed to limit point shots, and the physical toll of the position, Coffey's 44-game defenseman point streak will stand forever. The shooting efficiency, 33.3% shooting percentage in a season. Charlie Simmer scored on exactly 1/3 of his shots during the 1981-82 season, setting an efficiency record that defies belief. It happened when the Los Angeles Kings forward was part of the famous Triple Crown line, alongside Marcel Dion and Dave Taylor. Simmer scored 32 goals on just 96 shots that season, finishing with an incredible 33.3% shooting percentage. For comparison, a 15% shooting percentage is considered excellent in today's NHL. What makes this even more impressive is that Simmer wasn't taking just a handful of shots. He played 50 games that season and still managed this ridiculous accuracy. The closest anyone's come since is Alexander Mogilny, who shot 27.6% during the 1992-93 season. Among active players, no one has even approached 25% over a full season. With today's goaltending improvements, defensive systems designed to prevent high-danger chances, and shooters focusing on volume, Simmer's shooting percentage record stands completely untouchable for all time. The goal. Explosion. 7 goals in 1 game. Joe Malone set hockey's oldest unbreakable record way back in 1920. It happened on January 31st, 1920, when Malone's Quebec Bulldogs faced the Toronto St. Patrick's. Malone scored an unbelievable 7 goals in a single game, accounting for all but one of his team's goals in an 8-6 victory. What makes this even more incredible is that he did this in an era with minimal equipment, primitive sticks, and much different playing conditions than today. Malone's record has stood for over 100 years despite countless challengers. The closest anyone's come since is Maurice Richard, Daryl Sittler, and Bert Olmsted, who each scored 6 goals in a game. Among active players, 5 goals is the high mark, achieved by just a handful of stars like Mika Zibanejad and Patrick Lane. With today's defensive systems, goaltending improvements, and coaches pulling struggling goalies early, scoring 7 goals in a single game feels completely impossible. Malone's century-old record sits safely at the top, likely to stand for another 100 years. The consistency king, 10 straight seasons with 40-plus goals. Marcel Dionne put together a goal-scoring consistency streak that no one has matched. From 1974 to 1975 through 1983 to 1984, the Los Angeles Kings star hit the 40-goal mark every single season without fail. Dionne scored a total of 466 goals during this decade-long run, averaging 46.6 goals per season. What makes this even more impressive is the different eras it spanned. From the high-scoring WHA competition years through the early Dynasty era, Dionne just kept finding the net year after year. He wasn't just barely reaching 40 either. He topped 50 goals 6 times and hit 59 twice during this streak. The closest anyone's come is Mike Bossy with 9 straight 40-goal seasons, and among active players, Alex Ovechkin has managed 8, not all consecutive. With today's defensive systems, load management of star players, and the physical toll of scoring near the net, putting together 10 straight 40-goal campaigns feels completely out of reach. Dionne's consistency mark stands safely in the record books. The shot machine, 550 shots on goal in a season. Phil Esposito set the volume shooting record that still stands 5 decades later. It happened during the 1970-71 season when the Boston Bruins center bombarded opposing goalies with an average of 7.1 shots every single game. Esposito scored 76 goals that year, meaning he was putting pucks on net at a ridiculous pace even by today's standards. For context, a modern player who registers 300 shots in a season is considered a high-volume shooter. Esposito nearly doubled that, creating scoring chances constantly for himself and his teammates through rebounds. The closest anyone's come since is Alexander Ovechkin, who recorded 528 shots in 2008-9. Among other active players, no one has even reached 350 shots in recent seasons. With today's emphasis on shot quality over quantity, defensive systems designed to block shots before they reach the net, and more balanced offensive approaches, Esposito's 550-shot barrage stands as one of hockey's most unbreakable records. His shot volume dominance sits safely in the NHL history books. The offensive defenseman, 86 assists by a defenseman in a season. Bobby Orr completely redefined what a defenseman could do in the NHL. It happened during the 1970-71 season, with the Boston Bruins superstar shattering all expectations for offense from the blue line. Orr didn't just lead defensemen in assists, he led the entire league, beating out every forward in the NHL with 86 helpers. He added 37 goals to finish with 139 points, a number that seems made up for a defenseman even today. What makes this even more incredible is that Orr did this while still playing elite defense, winning the Norris Trophy and posting a +1, 2, 4+-, another record that will never be broken. The closest anyone's come to his assist mark is Paul Coffey with 90 in 1985-86, though he played 79 games while Orr set his record in just 78 games. Among active players, Erik Karlsson managed 65 assists in 2015-16, still 21 short of Orr's mark. With today's defensive systems limiting point shots, emphasis on shot blocking, and the physical demands of the position, Orr's 86 assist season stands completely untouchable for any future defenseman. The unbeatable streak, 35-game unbeaten streak. The Philadelphia Flyers went over 2 months without losing a single hockey game. It happened during the 1979-80 season when the Flyers put together the longest unbeaten streak in NHL history. From October 14th, 1979 to January 6th, 1980, they went an incredible 25-0-10, earning at least a point in 35 consecutive games. What makes this record completely untouchable today is that tie games no longer exist in the NHL. The shootout was introduced in 2005, meaning every game now has a winner and loser. Those 10 ties during the Flyers streak would be either wins or losses today, making this 35-game run impossible to match. During this amazing stretch, the Flyers outscored opponents 199-102, averaging over 5.5 goals per game while allowing fewer than 3. The closest any team has come since is the Pittsburgh Penguins with a 17-game winning streak in 1993, not even half of Philadelphia's run. With today's parity, salary cap limitations, and no more ties, the Flyers' 35-game unbeaten streak stands as a completely untouchable team record that will never be matched. The Dynasty Record, 5 consecutive Stanley Cups. The Montreal Canadiens built the greatest dynasty in hockey history from 1956 to 1960. It happened during the original Six era, with the Canadiens completely dominating the NHL for half a decade. Led by legends like Maurice Richard, Jean Beliveau, Doug Harvey, and Jacques Plante, Montreal won 5 straight championships, a run of success no team has matched since. What makes this even more impressive is that they had to go through the same talented teams each year, the Maple Leafs, Red Wings, Bruins, Blackhawks, and Rangers, and still came out on top every single time. The Canadiens won 40 playoff games during this streak while losing just 9. The closest any team has come since is the New York Islanders, who won 4 straight cups from 1980 to 1983. With today's salary cap designed specifically to prevent dynasties, free agency allowing players to move between teams, and the league expanded to 32 teams instead of 6, winning just 2 consecutive cups is considered remarkable. The Canadiens' 5 straight championship stands as the most untouchable team record in hockey history. The shot barrage, 62 shots on goal in one game. The Boston Bruins unleashed the most relentless offensive barrage in NHL history. It happened on March 4th, 1941, when the Bruins faced the Chicago Blackhawks and absolutely peppered goalie Sam Lopresti with 62 shots. What makes this even more incredible is that this happened in a single regulation game, no overtime, just 60 minutes of non-stop Bruins offense. Lopresti somehow kept his team in the game despite facing more than 1 shot per minute for the entire contest. The shots were spread across the periods with 21 in the first, 18 in the second, and 23 in the third. Despite the Bruins' overwhelming shot advantage, they only won the game 3-2, a testament to Lopresti's incredible performance. The closest any team has come since is the Buffalo Sabres with 59 shots in a 1991 game against Toronto. With today's defensive systems, shot blocking emphasis, and more controlled offensive approaches, no team will ever approach 62 shots in regulation again. The Bruins' shot dominance record from 1941 will stand forever. The perfect season, 132 points in a season. The 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens put together the most dominant campaign in hockey history. It happened during the height of their 1970s dynasty, with Montreal setting the all-time points percentage record with an 80-game mark of 68-12, good for 132 points and an 825 points percentage. The Canadiens were unstoppable that year, losing just 8 times while outscoring opponents by an absurd 216 goal margin. Montreal scored 387 goals while allowing only 171 and lost back-to-back games just once all season. They finished the year by going 12-2 in the playoffs to capture the Stanley Cup. What makes this record even more impressive is that they earned these points in an era when there were no overtime or shootout extra points. Wins were simply worth 2 points. The closest any team has come is the 1995-96 Detroit Red Wings with 131 points, but they needed an 82-game schedule to get there. With today's parity, salary cap limitations, and scheduling demands, no team will ever approach this level of season-long excellence. The Canadiens' 132-point campaign stands as hockey's most perfect season. Now there you have it, folks. If you're enjoying this breakdown of untouchable hockey records, smashing that subscribe button would really help me out.